And we say greetings, everyone. Say peace, love, light, honor to you all. Much love, much respect to you all. Want to address something, right? Want to address something. But before I do that, let me say that um, the reason why you guys have not heard from me is both my platforms are down. I have 6 more days before I could do anything on the YouTube platform. I just created another platform, not going to give the information out yet, off of YouTube where I can upload videos and stuff like that. When I'm ready to do so, I'll put the information for that platform out there. Um, the last few lives that I did, they were deleted completely, like completely deleted. You know, they have a thing that they do where they'll take down your stream, but they'll give you a date of when they're going to completely delete it. And I have a couple that's set to be deleted February 9th, February 6th, and February 9th. The last two that I did, they deleted it for medical misinformation, even though there was nothing medical in the very last one. So when the message is too powerful, you know. Um, but with that being said, this is why I also created the other platform as well, and off of YouTube on a different broadcasting site. But like I said, we'll release that information when the time is right. Right now, it's not time yet. I'm going to build it up more, and then I'll release the name of it just so that I could avoid any type of sabotage. Right? Um, yeah. With that being said, we still have Shitabi Media. That's XTABIMEDIA, where we upload the audios of current events pertaining to predominantly to what is going on in the world today with this so-called pandemic. Stuff that they'll normally take down. We try to use our podcasts as a archive to store these things. Even with that, we have to also be on top of it because sometimes we'll upload something and it will be there for a whole month, and when you go back to check on it, you can't find it. It's not there. So we have to re-upload it again, right? So it's like with a lot of the stuff that Rand Paul has been putting out there, Senator Rand Paul, who's also a doctor, has been putting out there, and the fact that he literally put the information out there about the NIH and the CDC, and right there alone unraveled everything, right? But again, we're not going to get into that right now. What I want to address is this. I want to give thanks to Brother American Arawaks. Okay? I want to give thanks to him. Uh, the reason being, not only for his hard work and dedication within this community, um, for the extra steps that he has taken to go way above and beyond, and for him being a brother in arms with this information, boots on the ground. I've come across a few people, my 8 years, going on 9 years now, doing this, where 4 people has come to me with this boots on the ground argument, as if we are not boots on the ground or doing anything the way how their wording is phrased. So I'm going to address that. We are boots on the ground. We've come across so many snakes in the garden that we just stopped sharing stuff with people who are going to go out there and try to tear us down. My 8 years, going on 9 years now, doing this type of stuff, I've come across many people. And the only one who has wholeheartedly, I don't even have to ask the brother. If the brother's creating a document and he says me and him are working together, he will add me in the document and he'll go straight down to the public records office and place it on the record. Don't even have to ask him. Understand? If I've been doing this for 9 years now, because it's going on 9 years, I've been doing this all this time. A lot of the platforms out there has come and gotten information from this platform right here. Okay? A lot of those platforms turn around and put out slanderous stuff about I or Brother American Arawaks. Yeah? And for the most part, we have not said anything. We just kept it moving. So, not because we have not said anything means that the other platforms are speaking truth. It's just that we can't bother with the foolishness. It makes no sense to continue arguing with folks, especially grown people, sisters and brothers that are supposed to be sisters and brothers, but have hidden agendas that has now come to light. And then there are those who we once or have respect for. And because of past interactions, we just don't get into the foolishness and we choose to just leave certain things alone. That's all. It's not saying that whatever these folks are saying behind the scenes that they are right. Because especially I, for one, if I was to ever come out and tell my full story on my encounters with everyone, a lot of people would be shocked and disappointed. And I don't say anything because it's not something that the community needs right now. It's not even important to me. I just don't even care. But what I will not tolerate is the little subliminal jabs. I don't go on anyone's platform. I don't harass anyone on their platform. I don't deal with any other platform except for this one right here, and then sometimes Lacono in them. Otherwise, from that, no other platform should be on my channel or my comment section talking as if they're the only ones that has boots on the ground. And that talk, I faced that talk with Richard Curry's two little minions, Alex and Malkia, where they'll try to throw that out there to me and Arawak as if they're the only ones that were doing something. And those are two people that if you weren't talking a specific type of maroon, they wouldn't help you do shit. Period. And they're very disrespectful people. Very disrespectful. As folks are finding out now. At first, they'll seem all nice and kind, and then you start seeing their verbiage, their language starts changing. And they formulate the words in a way where it's like if you took sociology, where they teach you how to disrespect someone to their face, where they don't ever catch on probably till like a month, 2 months later, like, oh, wait, but that was something disrespectful. That's those two. Okay? So I feel like this needs to be addressed right here on on this level right here. I know for a fact that there are people out there that Arawaks has helped with their documentations and whom he has got out of deportation issues because of the documentations that he has helped them with. And I've not seen anyone come and give him his honors or gratitude. None. And we all know this to be true. If we say that we are honorable men and women, then we should carry ourselves as such, right? If a man reaches out his hand in peace with you, you don't take jabs at that man, because since I've become experienced in this thing here, I learned now that the minute you sense shady energy, or the minute someone seems like they're coming off ill will to you, cut ties immediately. I don't need to explain nothing to anyone. And I'll just cut ties. That's it. Back in the day, I would be like, you know what, let's still try to work it back out. But if I come to you and say A, B, C, and D, and yours is more like W, T, F, or F, U in a subliminal way, I'm not going to say nothing to you. I'm going to back off. And that's that. And continue doing what I do. I'm not going to interfere with what you're doing. I'm not going to push up on what you're doing. None of the above. There's nothing more hurtful than when you offer help to others. There's many people out there that we've offered help to. And they say, yeah, 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 yeah. And when the time comes to commit, they don't. All they wanted was just the info. And even when they got it, it wasn't good enough. You understand? And this is not a particular jab at any one person. I'm just putting it out there for everyone that we've come to help, and you did not follow through on it. Right? Everyone. Now, we've come across about four brothers and sisters the other day, right? That we've known for a little bit, and we've spoken to them. We said, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we're looking to build. What do you think? And they say, yes, you know what, we're with it. And immediately, those people followed through. Immediately they followed through. Right? It wasn't a thing of holding feelings because maybe we invited, it's a group of 10 of you, but we only invited 4 of you out the group. But we have our reasons why we didn't invite the other 6. But we invited these 4 because we know that you are more competent to inhale, to intake the information, and then you could go back and educate the other 6. We invited you because building what we are building, we learned that we have to be careful. Well, it's not just any and everybody we could just throw into the mix of what we're doing, because some people out there, their verbiage, their language just don't fit what we are doing. We're not going out there trying to seem like we are a terroristic type of organization, group, nation, any type of entity. So we speak to the people who we feel are more rational thinkers, right? And despite however your friends or stuff might be, how they might be, that we still know that you will go back and educate them. We did not charge anyone that we had came across to say, hey, come be a part of this, of what we are building. Because in the bigger picture, it will help our people overall. So, hey, we'll help you with your paperwork, but here's how much we're charging you. No. We only said, well, the processing fee for these documents and so on and so. That's all we'll take from you is the processing fee. We're not charging you for the time, the hours that it took for us to put through or create these documents. No. Or how the hours, the days it took for us to design our ID card and why we designed it the way how we designed it. No. We only said, and this is how much it's going to cost for this to be made. This is how much it will cost to put on the record, etc., etc., and everything will be mailed back to you, including the receipt. And out of like, say we 15 people, only the 4 that we've come across followed through. The others would have gotten templates of what the information would look like and never gotten back to us. You understand? There's others that we reached out to, okay? And when we reach out to those others, it became became a thing of trying to turn it into a cat and mouse game, okay? Of where narratives are starting to be turned and spinned and make you look like actions are being taken where it was never nothing like that. So we stay away from that. That's deceptive. We never gave off that impression. And if a person took it that way, that person should have came and said something from the jump if that's how that person felt. They did not do that. I've been through that already before with persons. So I learned my lesson. Shall not do that again. And the minute I sense any form of deception, and everyone that I've come across in this community, except for Arawak, has put a knife in my back. I just don't say nothing. In the time where I was going through the most depressive stuff, facing the most mental anguish, my memory was shot. When I say my memory was shot, there's things that I couldn't even remember. Apologizing to people for shit that I thought I did. And when I woke up one day and said, let me pull myself away from all these people, except for one. One literally told me to dismiss myself from them. And I did so with no arguments. None. Because they thought I was hacking their platform and all sorts of other stuff. Did so with no arguments. You know why? I needed to regain back the power over my own energy. And when I started healing, my memory started coming back. And to that one person that I apologized to for something that I didn't do, I say with a wholeheartedly, fuck you. Period. He know who he is. He was living in my house. Yeah. Otherwise, from that, the reason why we are hesitant to work with folks within this community now is because many have shown themselves. Let me tell y'all a story. Because people think that I'm afraid to talk my shit. I was in a situation in my household where I got into it with my brother-in-law, physical altercation, right? Over some manipulative shit that was going on with my sisters. And I was arrested. Y'all heard me talk about that case, and y'all heard me say, well, it was a case that Owa gave me 5 sentences to say in the courthouse, and that got me off of my case or whatever. Hibbity hibbity blue blah, all that stuff. Yeah. And I had a brother that was staying here that was my witness. Yeah. He know who he is. I'm not going to say his name, but he know who he is. That was staying here, claimed to be my brother. What was my witness And he ran and left. My only witness to say, yo, what the police wrote in his statement was all lies and bullshit. And he left. Yes, when I came out after a week or so, he was there to meet me at the jailhouse when I came out. But that's because that person had an agenda. They was trying to trick one of my sisters into marrying them so that they could get their papers. You see the dirty snakes that we deal with? Hmm? And at the time, the thing was, it wasn't registering fully because I was still going through my issues because I was still mourning my cousin, my aunt, my father, their deaths. And I'm like, yo, I got these people in my house that I'm also going through issues with in my house, not their house, my house. Yeah. Now I'm going through this issue with over a stupid. It was a stupid subject, a very stupid matter, right? That turned into something that it shouldn't have turned into. Anyway, long story short, all charges were dropped, case was dismissed, beat the case, everything, whatever. But that moment right there, no matter what mental anguish I'm going through, I've never abandoned someone that I've called a friend. And one of the first people that we reached out to when I was locked up, because I was the closest person that I thought of that could have helped me. Yeah. And I asked this person, I said, hey, I'm going to need you to reach out to so and so for me. Because at the time when Owu and I were cool, yeah, he was too far away. He's in Jamaica. I'm in jail. You can't help me. Because you can't call the prison, the jail from Jamaica. So there's no way in hell he would be able to help me. So I asked the brother to reach out to Phoenix and never got a response back from her. Never. Only when I came out. And when I came out, I was still trying to help them with their documentations and their paperwork. Right? But the paperwork that I had, they didn't take it. Or they just looked at it, said, or whatever. You understand? So when I say everyone, except for Arawak, the two Yen Kun Kun, Alex, and the person that goes by the name Malkia, stabbed me in the back, everyone. I just don't tell all the story because not everything is meant to be told. But this here will be addressed, right? Because I don't want people to come at me subliminally and continue to come at me like you know something about me. You don't know shit about me. Right? And I could tell when someone is talking about me. There's folks that I've helped before, and I just said I said this year, coming into this year here, my main focus is going to be on I and I's house and what I'm building, what me and American Arawaks and I are building. And there's folks that I've helped and came back, and I still continue to have helped, but I will no longer come across and put any financial help into anyone unless it's in what we are building right here. And there's folks that, even though they still got the help, except for the financial part, it became an issue. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. And this will make you want to say, yo, you know what? Not helping nobody, not doing anything. But I didn't shut down the operation. I didn't shut down my platforms. I didn't do that. Even when the other um Aboriginal platforms out there was flagging my platform for it to the first platform, and it did get taken down. The big channel got taken down because they held a flag party on my stuff and they put through all sorts of complaints on my stuff. And I know it's them. I still give props where props is due, even though I don't talk to some of those brothers. Yeah. I'm not a person that if you feel you and I have issues and I know that your platform still has somewhat of good information or has put in a lot of work, I'm going to say, well, I got issues with that person. F that person's platform. No, I will still say, hey, this person platform has a lot of good information still. I can put my issues with you to the side because what is happening here today is bigger than that. But I'm not tolerating anybody coming back on my page anymore, trying to put themselves in a particular light as if you're the only ones with boots on the ground. That bullshit is not going to fly over here. That is foul. I have not gone on anyone's platform typing in no psychological, subliminal, taking jabs type of way. And that's how I took it. And that's how I'll continue to take it. Because that's what it was meant to be. I watched Arawak put in so many paperwork with the people who called themselves Yen Kun Kun. Yeah. Come to find out they're two little Jesuit agents. Yeah. And that's talk about Richard Curry's Minister of Foreign Affairs and his supposed Attorney General. And I watched Arawak put in so many documentations and paperwork, and they took all his shit and gave to. We know they gave it to Curry. At this time, they knew Curry was going to run for chief of the Maroons and these things, and they said nothing to us. And after he won his chief position of the Akungpung Maroons, they totally pulled a 360 on us. Totally. After we helped them build the herb farm, indoor grow house, and when we talk about herbs, y'all know what I mean. And that was the only thing that was going to be able to pull in the income so that we could do what we needed to do on the mainland and on the island. Yeah. And as soon as that was up and built and the first harvest was coming in, nothing, no more conversations about it. They totally stopped. Up until this very day, nothing. So I'm not going to sit here and have people come and try to take jabs like we are not trying to work with folks back home. We tried that. Right now, and I'm gonna say this right now because these people are saying boots on the ground right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. My household have about 13 crates of food, school books, supplies that have touched home right now to be given out in the most impoverished communities right now. I've watched how many other folks could say that they've done that. Right now, American Arawaks and I have plans to start a charity program for here on the mainland also. Going back to folks in New Orleans, folks down in the South, coming back to folks in New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area. Don't play with us. Don't play with us. Because we're not taking jabs at anyone out there. Don't do it. It's all respect this direction. But the minute there is a sense of deceptfulness or some form of manipulative acts going on, we're going to pull away from you. Period. We're not dealing with any organization, any association, any business, any other nation or tribe until we are contractually bound with each other. Period. Until these paperworks are signed, we're not dealing with anything. We're not giving out no information, no nothing. And this is how we learn that we have to do it with folks. Otherwise, from that, people will take what you have to offer, and shit on you. So, in order to know if people are serious, and this is an advice to everyone out there, put them to a contract. Put them to a contract. There should be no hesitation in signing it. There should be no hesitation in presenting their form of a contract. We openly accept all of that. Right? It's this is where we're at. We're just doing what we have to do. We're doing what we have to do in the way how we know how we can do it. Everyone else is doing their thing. Fine, do your thing. We are a small nation, but we're doing what we have to do. We're also in the process of formulating classes, monthly classes, advanced and beginners classes for folks out there who are looking to learn this information. When the time is right, we will release that information and the process to go about being a part of those classes, okay, and how to be invited into those classes as well. Um, yeah, right. So like, come on, people, man. We're not. What are we, five? We're not five. Everyone is doing their thing. If a man has a platform and his platform of giving a plethora of information, you can't go to that man and tell that man that he doesn't have boots on the ground. Because at the end of the day, with everything that's going on right now, it is the media that is being first attacked. It is that man's door that will be kicked off because the information that he's putting out is what the occupation don't want folks to hear. It was his platform, her platform, their platform that woke up thousands of people, probably even more. And those people were able to go and create their own platforms. There's many folks' platforms that I've personally helped them build. There's many folks out there who majority of their subscribers came from my first big platform, the one that was taken down. I didn't do it for a thank you, for any gratitudes. I did it because the information, the more platforms we have out there, the information needs to be out there, whether we get along or not. The information needs to be out there. I've not went back and asked these people for nothing. There's folks who was inspired by my platform to start their own platform and has given gratitudes, and I much respect to them. Right? But the only gratitude that I would ever need is that you have your platform up and running and that you're putting in the work on your platform. I would never look at you and tell you you don't have boots on the ground. Because if we never had our platforms, majority of you wouldn't even know the stuff that you have known, and you'd have been going off of these natives that you think, that you thought for how many years were actual Indians, and they're not, giving you half-ass stories. Quasi-sovereign nations contracted with the corporation to block you out, the true Indian. And you would have been going off of that narrative. A lot of y'all would have joined the Moorish Science Temple, Nation of Islam, Nuwapians, all that bullshit. If it wasn't for our platforms, a lot of the Moors who are coming in particular information that they didn't even know wouldn't have been on point the way how they're on point right now today and know how to actually operate as a true Indian on their soil. the American soil. I'm not saying that this is Morocco. No. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of American Indians that was tricked into joining I was about to say, well, the Nation of Islam also, but the more Science Temple, and are not coming to that realization that you subcontracted with the same corporation that has colonized your people, and that in the very same peace and treaty document, it gave you a way out. We were one of the first to point that out in that document. You know how many Moors hit me up? I did not even see that, brother. I didn't even know that. And these were folks that would drop a lot of information in my chat, and they did not know that. Now, when you go on the Yale site, portions of that document has been rearranged and rewritten because we pointed out these things. The wordings have changed. You understand? Know what's happening here. Know why I always did not take in the word native, because the word native, be careful of how you use that word. There's a reason why they keep pushing Native American, Native American, Native American, and not American Indian. Because a native is also property of the corporation. Understand this. Okay? 1856 Bouvier's Law Dictionary. Go look up the word native. Read the whole definitions on the native. The whole thing. And you'll see you have to be careful with how you use that word. To any documents you write and you're going to put Native American, make sure that at the bottom of that document, or there's another page where you put words that you've put into your document, where you're explaining explicitly what these words actually mean and how you meant the word. So if you're going to put Native American, you put in the explanation area of your document, the little summary area when you're breaking out what the document is, that you meant for that word to mean Native American, as in the first people, American Indian. You understand? Otherwise, from that, it's open for assumption. Like, come on, man. We're not here to go head to head against each other. If you're doing your thing, do your thing. We're doing our thing, we're doing our thing. It's sad that we couldn't all just come together, all platforms, all platforms. But I've tried that. I've invited folks personally to my home that stabbed me in the back. Not literally. Went and started spreading rumors because they got caught spying in my house. I've had people staying here where I literally would spend my own money on them, hair care products, food, all that shit. And when I started hitting hard times and all that stress started getting to me, knife in the back. I've had people that I'll send money to. If someone gave me $50 today and that was only $50 I had, I would say, you know what, let me send this to so-and-so so that they could get so-and-so up and going. And I would have to borrow money just to send that $50 for people to downplay the $50 that I sent to them. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've seen it. I've been through it. And sometimes people say things, and one time you'll say, all right, maybe they don't realize they said so and so in such a manner. But then they do it again and again and again. Then you realize it's not that they didn't realize they didn't say such and such a manner, it's just how they are. You understand? I have their GoFundMe's for people, for charity and these things. Only to come to find out that those people is just using the platform to try to gain some form of popularity with the people in a community that didn't freaking like them because the people didn't trust them, and to come around now to realize that the people had all right not to trust them because they're a bunch of snakes. So I limit myself now. The minute I feel like you're trying to be deceptive, I will no longer have any form of communications or talks with you or anyone. I have my life. You guys have your lives. Do what you guys do. I will not interfere in what you're doing, nor should I expect you to come and interfere with what I'm doing. That's it. Live and let live. Do you? I was here before I knew you. I'm going to be here afterwards. Not holding nothing personal. And this is how I protect my energy. If a man has not physically put his hands on me or try to put my family in danger, I have no issues with you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You understand? This we are everyone. I can't say everyone is actually doing the work, but I would like to think that everyone is actually doing the work and not just doing it for some self gratification or trying to create some hive occultic mindset of people, right? Everyone has experienced certain things, and everyone hopefully have learned from their experience. My experiences taught me to just the minute you spot something that just don't feel right, fuck it, never mind, it's all good, and I just keep it moving. Cut ties, right? That's it, and still continue to do the work that is being done. Because if it wasn't for these platforms, a lot of folks out there, a lot of folks on the mainland, a lot of folks in the islands would not have known the information that they know now today. You will still be following the same motherfuckers that's been leading you down the pit of hell. Period. I've done had folks that try to get me to stop talking about COVID. Don't talk about that no more. That doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. Yeah. Why you think you don't hear Richard Curry and his minions come out and really talk about that stuff? They use Budge as their mouthpiece and put him in all sorts of shit. And every time I saw him come out and make a video, I said, "Damn!" I said, look how they got him coming out there, put himself out there on front page, and you don't hear them going to the levels of how he's going about the COVID thing down there. You don't hear them doing that. They are taught to stay behind the scenes and let you do all the talking, and you go and you put yourself out there on that little island that is very corrupt. Yeah. Now I hear the man go through all sorts of stuff. I don't know if they're true or not. Just hear that he's going through all sorts of stuff now. So I mean, be careful, people. Be careful. I remember they used to try to get me to stop talking about COVID Oh, stop talking about that now. Just focus on, wanting me to only focus on Maroon thing. Because when they say just focus on what's going on in the islands, it always only go back to the Maroons. Never nothing outside. What about the people in the lowlands? I see I see them do a disaster relief drive. Yeah. Where they got packages donated to them and these things, disaster relief fund. But before they did that, they were talking all sorts of shit about people that left the island and came to the mainland. And it's the very same people that left the island and came to the mainland who sent you those goddamn boxes, those packages. The same people that you was talking shit about. Same people that you was talking about abandoning because you said that when they left the island, they abandoned the island. Well, there's about 3 million people on the island now. If everyone, all the millions of people that left the island came back, there's nowhere for them to stay. It will be overpopulated. So you don't say, well, let us then connect with the brothers and sisters off of the island and create an international community. No, you didn't do that. But when you see now that you can get stuff out of them, oh yeah, they're my friends. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You gladly take the stuff, but you talk shit about them behind the scenes. So when the thing came out the other day, and someone shared this with me, of them saying that his minister of foreign affairs is very disrespectful because he is. After a while, they get real dirty and disrespectful when they feel like they have an upper hand on you. It's not a lie. Not making this up. This is my first-hand experience dealing with them. I have not dealt with Curry. We'll talk about his two little minions. Okay? They've kept Curry away from American Arawaks and I because they knew that we will have questions that we wanted to ask, and they thought that also our platforms weren't big enough. So he was always too busy. Now you hear him say that one of them is his nephew. That's just because they did a family tree search and they realized through the minute bloodline that they're related. That's the African shit when Africans say auntie, auntie, uncle, uncle. Don't really mean shit. Stop letting people use wordplay on you. Okay? That's all that is. Things aren't always what they seem. Yeah? Things are not always what they seem. Yeah, my apologies. I was kicked for a minute, but yeah, these things needed to be said. These things needed to be said. And when it comes to the whole Curry thing and those two, I'm not even nowhere near done. Because when I'm up and running properly and when I can uh, uh um start showing y'all the breakdown of the treaty that they're holding to, and the treaty that they claim that they declared their sovereignty on. Yeah. And that's a word that people need to be careful of. Okay. I don't need any recognition. I'm already recognized. I am a West Indian. So I don't need to go and declare and proclaim any form of sovereignty because I'm already recognized by all nations internationally. Okay? So for those who have been doing this information, if you don't know what that means, then you need to go right back to the drawing board. And it means that for all those people who's trying to throw in the Moorish ideology, the African ideology. You cannot. Because the minute you throw in the Moorish ideology, the African ideology, whatever Asian ideology, and saying that, yeah, 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 you're recognized. No, you're not. What you just did was put yourself in a whole heap of stuff. It's either you are an Indian of the Western Hemisphere or you're not. Okay? You want to claim your Moorish ancestry? Go over to Africa and do that. Go over to Morocco and do that. You could go over to Morocco and do that. But this here is not Morocco. You want to claim your Chinese ancestry? Go over to China and do that. Go. Oh, good, and good luck with that. Because you see, you already saw what China had already did with their darker population. They shipped them all over here, and the ones that they didn't ship over here, they genocide. The ones that they didn't genocide, they locked into re-education camps, and then after the re-education camps, they did the CRISPR experiment on them to knock out their dark skin complexion. That's why it's hard to find a dark skinned Chinese on TV. This is what they've been doing in the Asian countries, and that whole CRISPR stuff. Pay attention. So wake up, people. Understand what's been going on here. This is the Western Hemisphere. You are West Indians. You have always been recognized. Always. You didn't need to. You need not to go to any other nation or tribe for recognition. You're already recognized. Your inability to come together in actual unity is what's messing you up. Folks on the mainland, folks in the islands. Your inability to let go of certain programmed ideology that you were taught, that you are now learning, that you are falsely taught this stuff because you feel you're getting some form of financial dividends off of it, is what's holding you back. You could have did 1,000,001 of your paperwork that went through, but the minute you start doing something that does not coincide with the Indians of the Western Hemisphere, you've done yourself and your paperwork a great injustice. We are and have always been autonomous people. This is and have always been our inheritance, the entire Americas and more. We are First Nations people. We are the Most High's people. We are first man and woman. We are. But we are our biggest enemies. We are. That being said, say peace to you guys. Much love to you guys. Honor to you guys. To all the platforms out there. To all the brothers and sisters on the mainland. To all the brothers and sisters on the islands, in in the American islands that they call the West Indies or the Caribbean. All of them. Much love to you. Do the right thing. Honor and respect to you. Do your thing. Do your thing. And I'll leave it at that. All right, Arak. Anytime you're ready to end it. All right. Anytime you're ready to end it.